Hello gamers, it's Tom Sidener, the Lonely Gamer, and here with me today I've got my son, Newt. Want to say hi to everybody, Newt?
Hello.
And we're going to play a game of Ashes, and this is a game that we both really love. We're going to go ahead and record it so you guys can see us play, and hopefully this will help you to learn how to play the game. I will say that Newt is at a little bit of a disadvantage because we are playing with my decks and he's not as familiar with this deck. If he would ever remember to bring his deck over, he could play his own deck. But so he's going to have to play one of my decks, and this deck that he is playing is just a standard deck from the starter book. So we're going to go ahead and get going, and here we go. We're going to roll our dice to see who goes first, and it's the person who has the most commons goes first. Newt loves to throw his dice all over the place, so it's going to be a theme for this game. So I have...
You took one of my dice. Yeah, you took one of my dice.
I didn't take one of your dice, you rolled it over here, so...
You took one of mine.
So I've got 2 high dice, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 medium dice, and I've got 3 commons. Newt has 4 high dice because he cheats, 4 medium dice, and 2 commons. So I have 3 commons, so I get to be the first player. So we're going to use this to denote who the first player is. So I'm going to point that towards myself for first player, and I will go. So in Ashes, on your turn, you can play 1 side action, which is notated by this little star symbol here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little 4-pointed star, and you can play 1 main action, which is notated by this 4-pointed star with a circle around it. So you can do 1 of each on your turn, and you can do them in any order. So I'm going to go first, and I'm going to play a Stormwind Sniper. That's going to cost me 1 face common, 1 knife common, and 1 common. These are actually mediums. So 1 face medium, 1 knife medium, and 1 common. I'm going to stick those over there in my use section. When this guy comes into play, he has ambush 2. So when he comes into play, I can inflict 2 damage on a target unit or Phoenixborn, and I'm going to inflict 2 damage on Newt's Phoenixborn just to get this game started off right. That was a main action, so I can also do a side action, but I don't think at this point I have any side actions that I want to do. So one of the side actions I can do is I can meditate, which means that I can actually discard cards from my hand, or I can discard cards from my top of my deck, or I can discard cards from my spell book, which I have no spell book right now, and change dice to any face I want. Each dice I change, I have to discard a card from somewhere. Also, I want to note that my Phoenixborn is right here. It's Baron Blackcloud, and he has a battlefield of 5. That means I have a max of 5 people I can have out on the battlefield, and I have a spell book of 3, which means I can have 3 spell book cards out here. Newt's playing with Cole Rorquin, and he has a battlefield of 6, so he can have 1 more person on the battlefield than me, and he has a spell book of 5, so he has a much larger spell book than me. So I've done my main action. I'm going to pass my side action, so it's on to Newt.
Alright, my main action, I'm going to put out Hammer Knight.
Does he have any effects here?
When this unit deals damage by attacking or countering, you may place 1 wound token on a target unit.
Oh, okay.
And I'm done.
Alright, so it's back to me, and I am going to play a Fire Archer. That's going to cost me 1 knife, so I'm going to pay my knife. That is a full action. So that he also has ambush 1. When this unit comes into play, you may deal 1 damage to a target unit or Phoenixborn. I'm going to deal 1 damage to Newt's Phoenixborn. Then for my side action, I'm going to do my special ability on Baron Blackcloud. It says I can exhaust him So here's an exhaustion token. I can exhaust him, pay 1 common dice, and I can destroy a unit you control. I'm going to destroy this guy, put him in my discard. If I do destroy him, I can deal 2 damage to a target unit or Phoenixborn, and I'm going to deal 2 damage to Newt, which I'm just going to flip one of these over to 5. And then I'm going to end my turn. So it's back to Newt. Now notice we don't draw cards. We don't draw cards until the end of the round.
Okay. I'm going to play on Protect, which would be those 2. And it says when this spell comes into play, place 3 status tokens on it. Discard this card when it no longer has any status tokens on it. When a unit you control would receive damage, you may remove any number of status tokens from the spell. For each status token removed, prevent 1 damage to that unit. Okay, and then I'm going to...
Okay, and that says whenever a unit you control would receive damage, so that doesn't count for your Phoenixborn, it only accounts for your units.
Okay.
And that was your main action, so you still have a side action if you would like.
Alright. I'm going to spend one of these for side action and deal 1 damage to this guy.
Okay, this guy only has 1 life, so Newt has successfully killed him. Not good. Okay, you done?
Yep.
Oh, but I am going to do this final cry. It costs me a main wolf head, and it says you may play this spell when a unit you control is destroyed. Deal 2 damage to a target unit or Phoenixborn, and I'm going to do 2 damage to Newt's Phoenixborn for him killing my guy. It's punishment for guy killing.
Yep.
Okay, so back to me. For my main action, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to play out the Black Cloud Ninja. It costs me 1 knife and 1 common. It has Seal Strike, so when this unit comes into play, I can spend 1 dice of any kind, because this is a common, but you can always spend higher dice for commons. But I can spend 1 common to place 1 exhaustion token on a target ready spell. So I'm not going to bother with that. I'm not going to do that. He also has Shadow Strike, so for a main action and exhausting him, I can deal 2 damage to a target unit. I cannot do 2 damage to his Phoenixborn though. So, okay, and for my side action, I'm going to go ahead for my side action, and I'm going to pass my side action. So I'm done.
Alright, for my I'm going to do a side action, discard a card.
Okay.
Got spiked armor, and make this the bull horn.
So Newt just meditated. He can actually do that. He could discard 3 cards if he wanted, and flip 3 dice if he wanted, but he only chose to do 1, so he only had to discard 1 card.
Now I'll do that, and I'll play down 100 blades. Deal 1 damage to a target unit, target Phoenixborn. Deal 1 damage to all opponents' units. Draw 1 card. So,
Okay, so 1 damage to my Phoenixborn, right?
Yep.
1 to each of my guys, right?
Yep.
And then you get to draw a card.
Okay.
And that was your full action?
Yep.
And now it's back to me, right?
Mhm.
So for my action, I'm going to go ahead. How much damage? That guy's got attack 4. Holy moly. For my full action, I'm just going to put out Small Sacrifice. It only costs me 1 action to put that in my spell book. I can use it to deal 1 damage to a target unit on my battlefield. If I do, I may deal 1 damage to a target unit on an opponent's battlefield. And I'm not going to do a side action, so I am... do I want to do a side action? Yes, I'm going to do a side action, and I'm going to use this dice. It says choose an ally in your discard pile. Add that ally to your hand. I'm going to choose this guy, add him back to my hand, and I actually take a damage for whatever his attack is, so I take 1 damage for putting him back in my hand. So, and I'm going to send it back to you.
That's my main action. No, I pass.
Okay. So, you did do a main action, right, or did you do a side action?
I did main action.
Okay. Oh yeah, he put down his spell book. I am going to pass. And so I'm going to pass. I could do a side action and still pass, but as long as I pass my main action, which is what I'm doing, passing my main action, then if Newt passes, then the round will end. But if Newt plays, it'll come back to me again. But I am passing my main action, so it's back to you, Newt.
Okay. I'm going to play down expand energy, which costs 1 of those. And I can select it 1 die in your exhausted pool, re-roll it, and place it into your active pool.
Okay. And that was a full action. Do you want to do a side action?
No, I'm done.
Okay, back to me. Now, I can actually play again. Even though I passed on my last turn, I can go ahead and play. And I think I am going to play. I'm going to go ahead and use Shadow Strike, so I have to exhaust this guy. It doesn't cost any dice, but it costs an exhaustion. I'm going to exhaust this guy to deal 2 damage to a target unit, and I'm going to do 2 damage to this guy. So in this game, units take damage just like your Phoenixborn, so he's going to take 2 damage like that. And then I'm going to pass my side action, and it's going to go back to Newt. Now Newt has no more dice, so he can only do what he doesn't have to pay for. And one of the things he could do is attack. He could attack because it doesn't require any dice to attack.
Okay, well I'm going to do a side action and do my slash. And I'll discard this card.
Okay.
And I'll do 1 damage to your guy.
Okay. And that's going to take him out because he's got...
Okay.
He's only got 2 life. So he is removed from the battlefield. And then that was your side action, but are you going to do a main action?
Yes, I'm going to attack your Phoenixborn.
Okay. So he's going to attack my Phoenixborn. I have nobody to block, so I have to take 4 damage. So I'm just going to flip this one over. You okay with that?
Yep.
Okay. And then this guy is exhausted because he attacked. So anytime you attack, you become exhausted. Alright. Back to me. I am going to pass. And then back to you.
Yeah, I'm going to pass.
Okay, so now that we've passed, that ends the player turn phase, and we go to the recovery phase. So the first thing we do is we do recovery. So some guys have recover, and his guy has recover 1, so that means that 1 damage comes off of his guy. I don't have any guys out here to recover, so nothing happens to me, for me. The next thing we do is we remove exhaustion. So anything that's exhausted, we take the exhaustions off. So Newt gets to take his exhaustion off of his guy. The next thing we do is we exhaust our dice. So any dice we have left that we don't want to keep, then we can actually put it over here. But this is a mid-level dice, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that. I'm not going to exhaust it. The next thing we do is we change the player, first player marker. So Newt is now the first player. Then we roll our dice, and Newt's going to try to roll his dice and keep them over there.
Yeah.
Once we're done rolling our dice, then we're going to discard any cards that we don't want. I have 1 card, but I want to keep my 1 card, so I'm going to draw. Then you draw up to 5 cards, so I'm going to draw 4 cards. And Newt has no cards, so he's going to draw 5 cards. Okay, and Newt gets to go, and he's first player.
I'll start off by doing a side action.
Okay.
And I'll discard this card, and do.
Oh, I don't have any units. Sure you want to do that?
Yeah, I still can hit your Phoenixborn.
Oh, if I don't have any units, you can hit my Phoenixborn, right? Okay.
And then, main action, I'm going to actually put out another one of these protects.
That's actually that was a good time to do that. So. Okay, so he gets 1, 2, 3 more counters. You could have used that protect when I hit your guy. Never even thought about it. So.
That's alright.
Okay. To me?
Done. Yep.
Okay, I'm going to do my full action is going to be my fire archer. He's going to come out. It costs me 1 knife dice. And when he comes out, he ambushes. So he's ambushed 1, so he's going to do 1 damage to your Phoenixborn. And then for a side action, I'm going to do Spirit Burn. So I have to exhaust my Phoenixborn and pay a common dice, which I will pay over here. And I can do 2 damage to a target Phoenixborn, so I'm going to do 2 damage to you, so I'm just going to flip this over and make that a 5 and get rid of these 2 on you.
Okay.
And this guy is destroyed because I have to destroy a unit to do that, so he goes to my discard pile, and it is now your turn.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and spend these 5 along with this one.
Wow.
No, I'm going to do this one.
Okay.
And I'm going to bring out one of these iron rhinos.
Oh, that does not look good.
No.
So he's actually playing this to actually do that. This is a spell book, and so that casts this rhino, because the rhino is something that he always has available as long as he casts it from a spell. I have Dead Wraiths, but I don't have any spells out to actually do them. So, and that was your full action, right?
Mm-hmm.
And are you doing a side action?
Yeah, I'm going to do a side action, get rid of this, and deal 1 damage to a target unit. Can I do your Phoenixborn or no?
No, it says unit, so you have.
No, I can't do the Phoenixborn.
Nope. If it says unit specifically, you can only do units. If it says unit or Phoenixborn, you can do Phoenixborn. Okay, so back to me. Are you gonna not do your side action? You do know that this side action doesn't exhaust, so you can do that every turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
So you could do that if you got a card you want to get rid of.
Okay, now actually I'm going to do this dice power ability instead.
Oh, to get somebody back from you.
Yeah, I'm going to bring this Anchor Knot back.
And he's attack 0, so
Yeah.
it doesn't cost you any life.
Yep.
Okay, good.
So.
Alright, so back to me. I'm going to do my full action. I'm going to place out the Stormwind Sniper. I need to have some kind of blockers for these crazy guys he's got out here. It cost me a face, and a knife, and a common. And when he comes out, he does 2 damage to target unit or Phoenixborn. And I'm going to do his Phoenixborn because he can heal his units. And for my side action, I am going to... For my side action, I'm going to go ahead and use this to bring my fire archer back to my hand. And I do have to take the damage equal to his attack, which is 1. So I'm going to take 1 damage for bringing this guy back. So he has 1 attack. And back to Newt.
Alright. I am going to do my side action, this one again, the slash. Put that guy away, and then I'm going to attack you. I was going to do a damage to...
Oh, you're going to do damage to him?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
That's
I
probably...
think I have to.
That's kind of oh yeah, because I do have a...
If there's an opponent.
Yeah, that's true. If I have a unit, he has to do a unit, otherwise he can do my Phoenixborn.
Yep.
So that's a side action though, so now he's wiped out my blockers and he has a full action left.
Okay. I guess I'll attack you with the Iron Rhino.
Okay.
So that's 5.
So for 5, and I have to take it because I have nothing to block it. I was hoping to block that. Okay, back to me.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to, for my side action, I am going to meditate. And I am going to meditate 2. So I'm going to discard. I'm actually discarding from my hand. So I'm going to meditate 2. And I'm going to turn both of these into the top dice. And then for my full action, I'm going to play Stormwind Sniper, which costs me a face, which I can use this because it's higher than a face. As long as the dice is higher, I can use it. It also, I need a knife, and this one's higher than the knife. And I also need a common, and this one's a common. So I'm going to play those, bring this guy out, and when this guy comes out, he does 2 damage to Newt's Phoenixborn. And now Newt's in trouble. He's 1 life away from me beating him. So
not good.
And so it's back to you.
I didn't realize I was getting that close.
Yeah. While Newt's thinking about what he's going to do, and since I don't think this is actually going to happen in the game, I want to explain one thing that hasn't come up in this game. If Newt would happen to attack with this guy has an attack of 4. If he hadn't killed my guy, I could block him with one of my guys. And so if he attacks this guy, then I can block him with this guy. If he attacks this guy and I have another guy that's a defender, that guy could block instead. But unless I have a defender, if he attacks this guy specifically, I have to block. I have to fight him with this guy. But if he would happen to attack my Phoenixborn with this guy, I can either take the damage from my Phoenixborn, or I can use anybody as a defender. So in this case, if Newt was going to attack my Phoenixborn with this guy, I could actually block him with this guy. Now here's the important part. When you declare a blocker, there are 2 different things you can declare. You can declare a block, or you can declare a counterattack. If I say I want to block, then I'd have to take all 4 damage from his guy. And if I survived, I would not be exhausted. Alright, so I would be able to use him to attack during another turn. But if I say I'm going to counterattack, then they would attack each other simultaneously. In this case, I would always counterattack because this guy's only got 1 life. So this guy's 4 life is definitely going to take him out. So there's no reason for me not to attack him back for 2 in a counterattack. But if this guy had 5 life, I might take the 4 damage from his guy, and then his guy would be exhausted from attacking, and then this guy would be available to attack again. If I counterattack, even if I don't die, then this guy becomes exhausted for counterattacking. So it's just a couple options you have when it comes to attacking and blocking. But let's go ahead and let Newt take his turn normally, and we'll see what he does.
Okay, so I'm going to do this slash again.
Okay, and you're going to take this guy out, right? Mm-hmm. So unfortunately my guys are pretty wimpy. They don't stay around too long, so Newt's able to take them out.
Yep.
And now he's...
I'm going to, go ahead and attack your Phoenixborn.
For 4, and I have to take it, so I'm going to make this 1 a 5. So I'm at 17. My guy's got 20 life. His guy's got 15 life. So, and back to me.
Yes.
So I'm going to
exhaust this.
Oh, that's right. He has to exhaust it because he attacked with it. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and play Fire Archer. That's going to cost me 1 knife, which I'm going to use this because it's higher than a knife. It has Ambush 1. When this unit comes into play, it deals 1 damage to a target unit or Phoenixborn. So I'm going to do 1 damage to Newt Phoenixborn.
Darn it.
And I'm going to take him out and win the game. So that's it. So that's how you play Ashes. I will say that I have actually modified this deck to make it more powerful, and Newt is playing with a standard deck from the box, so he did have a disadvantage, so he definitely beats me bad when he plays with the decks that he built, but he was kind enough to go ahead and make this video with me and play with a standard deck from the box. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this helped you guys to understand how to play Ashes. This is a wonderful, wonderful game. It's one of my favorite. It's my favorite 2-player game.
Yeah. I like it.
And Newt likes it too, and he plays it with his friends. And so I hope this helped you guys to see how to play. I hope you enjoyed it. And until we see you again, happy gaming.